Hey, okay, so I'm just going to start recording this call. For those of you that are watching this recording, thanks for watching. I'm a mess from my workouts today, but I didn't want to change or get ready or do any of that stuff because, quite frankly, I know all of you and you get it. Okay, so there are so many things that I learned in Summit, or so many things I relearned or was reminded of in Summit. And I think that I'm just going to share a few things with you. My top, if I could narrow it down to three takeaways, just the top three. My very first one would be, well, I'll go with number three first. Number three is obviously leaving my mind. What was number three? Number three was, okay, I'll just say them in order. One was be patient. Gary Vaynerchuk came to talk to us for like an hour on one of the days, and he talked about being patient and how 99.9% of us, or 99 point whatever percent of us that don't follow through with this business or become successful, it's because we lacked patience. We weren't patient with the process. We weren't patient with adapting to the changes in social media or in business or in entrepreneurship, whatever. My next one is to find your passion. Find the thing that you are passionate about. Lead with your passion. You aren't Beachbody. You aren't Beachbody products. You are you. And people are going to follow you, not Beachbody. And also, one of the last thing, I don't remember what my third one was, but one of the things I did want to talk about is leaving your legacy. If you don't do you, you don't get done and the world misses out. That's what Tracy Morrow said. And she's been a founding coach. She's been a coach since the beginning. She's in P90X3. She's the one with 6 kids, short blonde hair. That's Tracy Morrow. I got to hug her and stand next to her as we were leaving the last night and just thank her. I've reached out to her before because she has so many kids and I didn't know how she did it. And that's when I realized that I was going to have to be patient with the process because her kids were older. Yes, she did have a couple of children during this time while she's been a coach, and she did make it to the top because this is back in the day when it was traditional face-to-face, belly-to-belly network marketing, and you had meetings and you sat down and you talked about the business opportunity like the old-fashioned way. And quite frankly, it signs up more people because you're face-to-face, you're belly-to-belly, you're getting to know what they need. And she talks about the 5 steps to create your legacy. Choose is the first step. Choose your desired outcome. What do you want out of this? You have to decide and you have to choose what you want out of this. Do you want to help others get healthy? Do you want to pay it forward? Are you going to keep your success trapped in your mouth, or are you going to help others find the solution that you found? The second step is to communicate to the proper people, not communicate with your challengers. I guess, oh my goodness, my hair is bugging me so much. I can't handle it. It's like all over my face. It's all flying away. Okay, so you're going to communicate to the proper people. That's your loved ones. That's the people that are directly affected by the fact that you've taken on this business. You're not going to try to hide it from them like I did, because that gets you nowhere. Because then you feel like you're deceiving everybody. You're deceiving yourself and you're deceiving everybody. You can't hide it from them. You have to communicate. And learning to communicate with the people closest to you about this decision to embark in this business. Yeah? Someone took away our friend's rocket. Oh, no. So when you communicate with the right people, it teaches you how to be a better leader and how to communicate better with your challengers, how to take criticism. It teaches you so much that you can apply to the business side of things, and that will help you be successful. 3, collaborate. Collaborate with a success partner. Collaborate with your family. So you have to collaborate with your success partner, collaborate with your family, collaborate with your upline, whoever you need to collaborate with. But collaborate with these proper people first. You guys have to decide how it's going to work. Set your business hours, set your expectations, but adapt to the unexpected, because unexpected happens in life. You're not going to have the ideal work day every day, but you can strive for it. And you can collaborate to a point that it's like, okay, this is how it's supposed to look. So let's keep working at getting it to look this way. Everything takes time to adapt. The fourth step was commit to the process. Commit to the steps that it's going to take. Commit to the formula. Is it worth fighting for? Is it worth fighting for? Is why you became a coach, why you went on this journey to get healthier, is that why worth fighting for? Check in regularly with these proper people. Check in and say, hey, how do you think this week went? How do you think this new schedule is working out for us? Do you think that we need to try something different? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Did you have to take over more than you were ready to take over? I don't know how to turn this off. Okay. Are you going to, and I guess the other part is to be humble in the response. Have an honest, humble conversation. That was the bonus step. Strengthen the fabric of your relationships that are closest to you. If you don't, this will fall apart. But just do you. If you don't do you, you don't get done and the world misses out. Literally. Only you can bring to the table what you have to offer. Only you've had your life experiences. I really liked that the theme that I got out of Summit was to be patient. Maybe that's just what I needed to hear, because I need to be patient with myself. Personal development was a huge thing that they talked about as well. Everybody talks about personal development. If you aren't reading a book, a personal development book of sorts, you can't move forward. And it can be anything that improves you. If you need help with the spiritual side of your life, find a personal development book, whether it be scriptures or a book, Joel Osteen, whoever it is that you want to read from. Something that's going to prick your heart and help you reflect about yourself and how to improve. Be transparent. Don't be somebody else and don't compare yourself to other people. That was the other big theme. So be patient, be you. Everyone talked about just be you. Be honest about the Oreos. Be honest about the imperfections. Be honest about the fact that you ate pizza Friday night. Who freaking cares? People want to see that you're a real person. They don't want to see that you have perfect down, because that's unrealistic. The biggest thing that I took away from Summit is that being there with all of these people that were just trying to make a better place, better opportunity for themselves and their families, that the common theme was that everyone just wanted to serve. And you can't duplicate this experience. You cannot duplicate the Summit experience. You have to be there to experience it. Or come with me to First Steps for Success by Danny Johnson. She's a network marketing professional. And you'll see a ton of Beachbody coaches there too. Because she's a network marketing professional and she's a personal development, whatever. And she's super religious too. So if you really enjoy hearing how people incorporate God into their businesses, she's definitely somebody to listen to. Or you can just ignore that part. Who cares? Okay, I wanted to talk a little bit about finding your passion. If you want something different, you have to do something different. You have to develop your vision. You have to develop your dream. You have to make your vision board, whatever you need to do. You need to develop your dream. What I liked about some of these top coaches when they were giving these seminars, and if you want, you can go to your back office and they have links. You can already start seeing some of these. I think. I don't know. They did it this time last year. Anyways, and one of them, she was like, had been working so hard to reach the top 10 coaches. And she came in one year at number 11. Another one talked about how she was trying so hard to get to leadership and you had to be 2-star by leadership, and she missed the deadline by like a week. But they just kept going. They kept going. They didn't let that fail. She's like, I'm not ready to be there. If I wasn't ready in time, I just wasn't ready to be there. I wasn't ready for that experience. They take those failures and they don't let them consume them, because that isn't their passion. Their passion isn't being 2-star, 5-star, 15-star. Their passion is to help people. And of course they want to reach those goals so that they can experience leadership or success club trips or whatever it is. But the long and short is just that If you're prioritizing correctly and you're staying true to yourself and you're just being yourself, it will just happen when it's time to happen. It'll happen when you're ready for it, but not a second sooner. So the other thing is to have kind of, going back to the patients, you can't incorporate every single habit of a good coach overnight. You can probably do all the 3 vital behaviors or the 4 vital behaviors, because they've added a 4th. So it's invite, 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 be a product of the product, be proof the product's work, personal development, and recognition. Recognizing your challengers, recognizing your story, recognizing and being grateful and appreciating, and recognizing the successes of your team. That is recognition, and of your challengers. Okay. So what are you fighting for? What are you fighting for? This is going back to find your passion. What are you fighting for? You need to have visual statements, like things that have deeper meaning to your goals. Like, don't just say, I'm fighting to be healthy. No, what are you fighting for? To have more energy, to connect with your spouse, to be happier, to be more motivated, to be driven, to be ambitious. What are your real ambitions? To be able to run a 10K? I don't know, whatever it is, like, you have to have these things that bring that visual. One person, she was even talking about how she visualized it in detail. She was like, to me, being successful or getting to, what my vision was is, we're in this house in a cabin, and, my husband's watching a football game, and I'm cooking, and we're together as a family, and we have all this time to spend together, and I'm cooking. And she's described the meal she'd be cooking. She described the scene around her. She described what it looked like outside, what it looked like inside, the feeling in the home. That was her vision. She took it and she ran with it, and she was like, to me, that is what I'm working for. That is what I'm fighting for. Her husband would deploy a lot. They hardly ever saw each other. So to her, having him sitting there, her making him food while he was watching a football game, relaxing because he had a hard day at work, that was her goal. She wanted to bring him home. So coping with disappointment. Because, you're passionate, right? You're passionate and you're spreading that and you're being that part of yourself. But there is going to be disappointment. Allow your satisfaction to come from your work ethic, not your results. That's when she talked about the 2-star, right? She knew she wasn't just treating people like numbers. She knew that she missed 2-star by a week because she wasn't in it for that. She wasn't trying to just force people into things just so she can make her numbers, so she can make it to leadership. She worked hard and smart, and she got to where she got. And she was happy because she didn't compromise her standards. And she was happy with her work ethic because she didn't compromise her family time. Anyways, okay. So another part of gaining your passion, having your passion, is to have a story. And everybody has a story. So you have to lead with your story, lead with you, lead with what got you there. There are so many notes. I took pages and pages and pages and pages of notes, like a lot. But I wanted to share with you something that I did. I went to this rooftop summit, and then I'll close so you guys can get back to your lives. So going back to where we talked about leaving your tracks, so like leaving your legacy, leaving your tracks, that the indelible impressions we leave on the earth, like in the mud, not in the sand, right? Things that are going to, where's the first part? Okay, yeah, so leaving your tracks. Okay. This is kind of how we bridge the gap of trust also. Becoming this person, that, we want to leave our tracks, we want to leave our legacy, right? And the way we bridge trust, first of all, is by connecting with people on a level that's deeper than ourselves. So visualize a conversation 15 years after death. Someone who knew you very well. It could be your spouse, it could be your child, it could be just a very close loved one. Somebody that would have held your hand as you left this earth. Somebody that close to you. Nora, you're not supposed to be on that. Get off. Go on and play. It doesn't matter why. I've told you several times. Get off of it. Okay, they're trying to kill themselves on the pull-up bar. No big deal. Okay, so what would they tell a stranger about you? You've passed away, you're gone, and they miss you. And what would they say? And so the family member would tell the stranger these things. Spend 10 minutes thinking about what it is that you want to leave behind, that you would want them to say about you. Not necessarily what they would say today, but what you would want them to say about you. And I wrote just this long, I wrote for the 10 minutes. And I said, she was ambitious. She absolutely loved her husband, children, had a big heart. Family was always a priority. She wasn't afraid of change. She would stop at nothing to achieve her goals. She taught love, compassion, and she was no nonsense. She put God first. She knew her Savior like he was her brother and best friend. She bore her testimony often about faith, God, and people. She wasn't afraid to praise others. She wasn't afraid to talk to strangers and make them feel special. She loved life and learning. She tried to include everyone and loved traveling. She could bring an entire group of strangers together and help them enjoy a moment. She couldn't stand awkward silences. Her husband adored her. Her kids were her best friends. She was always thinking about how she could add value and make a difference. She grew to love motherhood and wanted to share this with absolutely everyone. She inspired other mothers to find joy in motherhood and marriage. She was fierce, feisty, and committed. If you were in a room with her, she'd make sure to make you laugh. She loved to tell stories and make people comfortable. She loved to lead and constantly work to conquer anxiety and depression and help others with the same thing. She valued health and doing everything in her power to be totally present with life. She lived and she loved and she kicked strong to the final moment. She never let her own physical issues hold her back. She was determined to conquer it and not let anything get in the way. And when I was writing this and imagining who would be telling this story about me, I was bawling. Just imagining somebody telling this about somebody they loved so much. And I was just bawling. It was a good experience. So I encourage each of you to really think about what it is that you're trying to leave behind. What legacy are you trying to leave? And this will fall into that. You have signed up to be a coach because you want to help other people the way that you've been helped. You want to possibly provide an income for your family. But you do have to be realistic with yourself and be patient. If you want to supplement an income, you have to have a team. And if you want to have a team to supplement income, you have to be willing to do the work in your own journey. And then the rest falls into place. So it's not about the numbers. It's not about Success Club points. It's not about, whatever. Who cares? It is about being yourself and letting the rest fall into place. So doing the work, knowing what the formula is. If you know why you signed up to be a coach, why? Write it down. Why? Look at that and ask yourself, am I willing to fight for this? Am I willing to do the work? Am I willing to follow the formula? And if you are, then it's time to get to Summit, because there you're given all the clues. You're given all the, people were breaking down calendars, and I'll have to share the calendar in with you, how to funnel people through in the most flowy way so that you're not selling them anything, but so that they're experiencing what your groups are like, experiencing what the coaching opportunity is like, experiencing what the free groups are like. So you get them into a free group. There's so much stuff. Anyways, so if you're ready to move forward to that next level, just let me know and I can walk you through kind of how to do it in a way that still prioritizes your family. Okay, I've taken up enough of your time. Oh, okay. Hey, I'm going to stop the recording real fast and I'll just talk to you. Okay.